Hello everyone, and welcome back to GregTech New Horizons. I am thrilled to be back for episode 4, and today our main objective was to finally progress to the long-awaited Steam Age. On top of that, we also did a few renovations, so stay tuned for that. Now, before we move on to the video, I just want to say real quick that I am going to be streaming in between episode progress on both Twitch and YouTube. So stay tuned for that and check the description for both channels. Thank you for tuning in and enjoy the episode. I think it is time that we start getting into some actual progression. So last episode we got into ores, and in between episodes I have found many ores. And with that I've gotten a good combination of different things. But the big thing for today is moving into the Steam Age, and that starts by making bronze, which, if you don't know, bronze is 3 copper to 1 tin. So now we have to turn all of this into iron, iron dust, but I said iron because I'm going to need many more hammers for this. I think I'll probably need at least 2 more hammers, because I think each hammer does about a stack. How do I turn this to dust? Oh, not hammer, mortar, you idiot. Okay, so I have a mortar here. I'm going to need more mortars, so yeah, that's already broken. And I think that was my steel mortar too, which sucks. I need 1 more mortar. Well, I have extra hammers, and turns out I'm probably going to need them anyways, with all the stuff we're going to be doing. I completely forgot about mortars. That's crazy. And now, before it turns to nighttime, 242, and that's nearly 2 stacks of bronze dust. So now what we're going to do is smelt that up, and we're going to get on moving into the Steam Age. Now we have 6 furnaces. Unfortunately not as many as I wish we had. Wish we had more, but for right now 6 furnaces is going to have to do. Now with the quest book, we're going to wait for those ingots. Our big progression is going to be into the Steam Age. Finally getting out of the technical considered Stone Age and getting into machinery and getting better tools. Our big goal for today is to upgrade our tools once again. So last episode we got iron tools. The episode previous we got tinker's tools. Now, this episode, we're hopefully going to get bronze tools, if not better, depending on how far we get, because today is going to be a bit of a longer episode, due to the sheer fact that throughout these last 3 episodes, I don't feel I've progressed as fast as I would prefer, because the projects that I'm working on, I'm needing resources and materials, and simply just using these tools is not working. So, yeah. Let's wait for this bronze to smelt up, and then we'll hopefully start working on machinery. And now with that, the bronze is finished. So there it is, making bronze. And cool, get some coins. No room for those. Ooh, that sucks. And we get some nice rice curry. Heck yeah. Let's empty out our inventory just to save on a little space. Now let's see, what is our next option? Obviously we can go into making our small coal boiler, but what about making better tools? For this we need to set up a smeltery. So I say before we get into making machinery, let us set up this smeltery. And in between episodes, I did in fact go to the Nether, I was able to make a makeshift nether portal with a few buckets of lava, and I was able to gather up a bunch of lava. This is very crucial to making the smeltery. Now, to make the smeltery, the last thing I believe I need is a smeltery controller, what else do I need? I need a smelt. What if I just look up smeltery? A smeltery drain. I have the tanks. I need the spouts, or the faucets. Yeah. Okay, so to make this, you just need the seared bricks and a furnace, which I already have. I just need the furnace. Do I happen to have an extra furnace? I do. That makes life 10 times easier. Oh, of course. Okay. Now, next we need the smeltery drain, which is going to be a few more seared bricks. But the cool thing about this is I got these seared bricks from villages, but I need to get them into their actual, like, singular brick form. What GregTech has shown me is that if I take a hammer to these already pre-made bricks, I can turn them into their normal bricks, like crafting recipe, I guess. Now, you do only get 3-to-1 when the crafting recipe is 4-to-1. So yes, you are losing out on some bricks, but at the end of the day, it doesn't necessarily matter. Okay, so I need one of these to make the smeltery drain. And I'm going to need to make probably 2 of those. And that should be the full smeltery, so I guess I'll build it right here. You need to get a 3x3 base. And you just do this, that torch back there. And I'm going to place the drain. I'm going to place the drain right here. And now, if I get one of these tanks, and because it has lava in it, you have to hold it in your hand. That is why I got these gloves. Now, if I do that, I'm going to start taking damage because of how hot it is. It was a cool, or it was not cool, but interesting fact. And I did something wrong. Let me figure out what I did wrong. Oh, okay. So I guess the smelter controller had to be placed on the same level as the lava tank? That's weird. Yeah, okay. Now can I put 2 tanks on this? I've never actually tried this in GregTech, or in Tinker's Smeltery, period. No, you can only put 1. Okay. I'm not gonna waste that. That's just a stockpile of lava. And now, just to make the storage bigger on the smeltery, I can tower it up like this, which gives us more melting slots and more storage in it, I believe. Yeah, now we have like all these melting slots. And for the last 2 things, we're going to... Oh, is a drain only one-sided? Interesting. Well, either way. Now, if I want to make gold casting, I can put gold in here, and it'll start smelting up slowly. Alright, so quick interruption here. This is post-editor AJ, and I didn't realize how dumb I was being this episode. So yeah, there are, needless to say, a lot of mistakes I made, and a lot of misinformation. So please excuse me while I fail to realize that this isn't a regular mod pack that I'm used to, and I still think I know everything. Thank you. Okay, so I was completely wrong, in other words. To be able to make these, it is not the normal crafting recipe, that is why. You need brass, which for brass you do, I think it's 3 copper to 1 zinc. I don't know if that's true, so we're about to find out. So, do 3 copper to 1 zinc. Okay, I was like, I don't actually know if I have zinc. let's find out. Well, that kind of like put a quick hiccup in my plan because I was like, this sucks. I don't know why it wasn't working, and well, that would make sense. I'm not gonna upgrade my sword yet. Okay, so that's gonna take a little while to smelt up. The gold's just kind of stuck in there, so hopefully nothing alloys with it. I don't think there is an alloy for gold. Yeah, there isn't. But we can... Ooh. Molten steel makes the casts. Okay. Now, once that melts up, we should have brass. Once we have brass, we can start making casts, which will allow us to get better tools. I'm going to put 6 ingots of bronze in there to be able to make the pickaxe head. Oh, and now that the brass is done, we now have a golden pickaxe cast head. I still have another ingot of brass. Can I? Okay, so it's per plate is 1 ingot. So we just made all 3 cast heads. Now I just have to wait for the bronze to smelt up, and we'll be ready to make better mining tools. And there's the bronze finally done up. We put the pickaxe head in there, and now we have a bronze pickaxe head. How much did that use? That used... I'm not quite sure. Axe head used an ingot. Okay. And now, after that, we should have, if we go in here, oh, I keep forgetting you have to make sure that the tools are fully repaired. I keep forgetting, I'm like, why is it not working? Oh, and that's flint. I still haven't even upgraded this shovel. That's crazy. That 4 flint is not going to be able to repair this, is it? No, I still need a little more flint. Where did I put my mortar? There it is. Should put that in there. I don't even know why I made that much flint, because I actually don't need that much flint anymore. Because after this, if I put that in there, we now have a bronze pickaxe, a bronze axe, and a newly reinforced bronze shovel. With that, we have bronze tools. We have officially upgraded our tools. Now, we are going to have to start keeping bronze on us now because of our tools being reinforced with bronze, but the good thing is they do mine faster. Well, I don't necessarily know if they mine faster, but they are just better in general. And the durability on them is just so much better, especially on that one. And what's also good about this is in between episodes, I got a bunch of redstone. So if I go over here and do this, I can put all of this redstone on my pickaxe with its modifier. And now it's got max haste. I can also do the same thing with the shovel, which I know I've already put a little bit of redstone on. And last but not least, same thing with the axe. Having full haste on it. And there we go. That is pretty good for upgraded tools. Now let's see how quick it mines. Not bad. It could be better, but I'm not gonna complain, it's pretty good as it is. Now, next, let's get into making our first machine, the small coal boiler. There we go, and that is the blast furnace done. Now, once I get these bricks, let's get our bucket of water that we collected up earlier, thankfully. 2 bricks, and Shift C. Our first steam boiler. Welcome to the steam age. I do believe for this to work, for this to boil and make steam, we do need a water source. The thing with that is, they will blow up if they don't have water, I believe. I think that is correct. I'm more or less just saying that off what I've heard. I don't know if that is necessarily true or that is what happens at this point. I just know shit blows up. So I'm doing with that with what I know. So a good thing that'll help us prevent that and get infinite water, and I think I've talked about it in previous episodes, was getting a water tank. And to get a water tank, or a water pump and a water tank, we need rubber. So we need to go on an adventure to find a rubber tree sapling. So, post-editor AJ once again, and yeah, I continued to be dumb. I decided not to read quests and follow them like I'm supposed to, and once again thought I knew everything. Well, obviously I'm wrong. So, please excuse this quick jump in time. When will I ever realize that I don't know everything? Alrighty, well, after messing around and reading some quest lines, it turns out that I am just an absolute idiot and extremely jumped the gun way too quickly. So, I wasted a bunch of resources for absolutely nothing that I could even complete. And if I would have just maybe placed the thing I had already gotten, I would realize that my water tank already produces water. So, yeah, that's what happened here. And now I can get my coal boiler here, and I assume if I do that, it will start pumping it with water. Yep. And if I grab some coal, which I also use my lignite coal, it will start heating up and we'll start producing steam. So now we have our first, I'm going to say, source of power, I guess we could call it. And yeah. Now I can sound muffled, but I don't really care to do that. Hopefully this will produce more water than it does steam, and I won't have to worry about that. But, we'll see. Now let's get into the steam alloy thing, which I have wasted so much bronze that I'm probably going to need more. Alright, that's not bad, not bad. Now the brick bronzed hull. Okay, well, I'm gonna mark that. And we're going to do that and that. And we just need one of those. So now to make this, you need all those bronze plating. We can make 2 furnaces, and for this you need bricks. That. There, that's all we need. I can definitely make the 2 furnaces really easily, because that's just, well, 6 flint and 12 cobblestone. There we go, that's the 2 furnaces. Now, I'm going to need 5 bronze plates there. And another 6 up there. Now all I need is the 3 bricks, which is just more bricks. Yay. Just get a stack of clay and turn it into bricks, because it seems I'm going to need bricks a lot. I don't know if that's true or not, but hey, it doesn't hurt to have bricks now, does it? Now I am going to need water, that is. And I don't believe that... Yeah, this thing's starting to exhaust out its... This thing must be full of water. There we go. That works. That's 2 bricks. Now we just have to wait for that to happen again, and we'll now have the more advanced alloys, which will lead us into making red alloy. And adventurous. And now we have a steam alloy smelter, which I assume I can get that and connect that, and it should be pumped up with steam. Yay. Now we can start alloying. Cool. Take the coins. Why not? Now red alloy. 14 red alloy. How do you make it? 4 redstone to 1 copper. So that's 28.56 to 14. Good thing I got a lot of redstone. And if I go in here and do that, it's going to start tearing through my steam because I do not produce steam quick enough. But I think it shuts down. Stalled, cannot vent steam. Right click with a wrench to point this machine's steam vent towards an empty space. Oh, that's interesting. See, I'm learning new things like that. I assume the steam vent must have been in the back. I was going to see if the steam hurt me. And I'm eating through the steam, which mildly sucks. What does it take to make 1 ingot? 1,000 steam? A little over 1,000 steam. Yeah, I see that creeper's. It's just a concussion creeper. I'm not scared of him. Well, that's 7 red alloy so far. We were definitely going to want that 4 red alloy in there. And what comes after red alloys? Our very first... I'm assuming those are going to be wire cutters? And that's going to be once this thing fills up with steam. So, that's... I guess let's finish cooking up this red alloy and see what's on there next. Alrighty, now it has been a day or so since the last clip. Now, in between that, I was not able to record because I had a lot of background noise going on, but I still did a little stuff in between shots because I wanted to get some things done. Now, we're going to continue on finishing this video and finishing off with a compressor, but I guess I'll show what I did. First off, I did a few side quests, got a matic, stuff like that. I even upgraded my sword up to bronze and went into the nether and got a bunch of quartz on it. Now, you'll notice that this platform is looking a lot more open, and I'll show why that is, and you can kind of see it a little off to the right there it is. Now, for when it comes to the farms, I started putting barrels to store the crops in because these chests are just way too bulky and it's hard to get the Oh, there's monsters nearby, of course. Well, I guess I'll show what I worked on while I was in between shots. I carved out this entire inside of the base to make the central part of this base. All the trophies are being stored right here along this wall. I'm going to sleep real quick before we get invaded by mobs. But I fixed all of our storage, so all of our chests are in here. They're not just out in the open, and they're all relatively sorted. And yes, I did get a bunch more bronze and ores in between. Sorted everything out. Furnaces right here, and stuff needs to be smelted. The part that I am more excited about is this platform, which is where I put the 6 coke ovens that we were doing, which are all still running. And I upgraded to 3 water tanks, and all of these are full. So I can put more boilers over here to... Damn. I really need to just get a bunch of torches and just light up the entire mountain. I really do. But what I was saying is we can get more boilers for these tanks and just be able to produce a lot of steam rather than just a little. And when it comes to the red alloy, I did smelt up a little more than what I did last. Yeah, so now I have 24 red alloy. But unfortunately, I don't actually think I need that as of right now. And I'm going to just get 4 more because why not? Now, our next thing are the wire cutters, which is very easy to make. I just need a hammer, probably going to need another one. I want to say file and saw. And that. 3 plates, 2 rods, and a screw. Yeah, so I'm going to need iron for that. So we already know we're going to need 3 plates. And then we're going to need 2 rods and then a screw, which is like that. And need a screwdriver. I want to say it's a file, hammer, screwdriver, 3 plates, 2 rods, and a screw. I was wrong. The file and hammer are switched. And there we go. Now we have wire cutters. I'll get the loot bag, why not? I don't need the screws right now. Next up is a piston. Is it a crafting task? Yes, it is. Unfortunate. Well, let's craft a piston, why not? What all do we need for a piston? 2 iron gears, 2 cobblestone, red alloy plate, a fence, and some carpenter blocks. I'll save a crafting recipe, and boom, that's the piston done. How about that? And sure, we'll take 2 pistons. Now, next is the steam compressor, which is the best thing we need right now. So we're going to need 6 of those and a bronze hull. We already have the 2 pistons, the bronze hull is just bronze plates. How many was it? It was 8 bronze plates? Yeah. So that's 16 bronze. Just like that. And now we have a steam compressor. And the best part about a steam compressor is the things it unlocks. So yeah, I think it's very nice what we got done today. We finally got into the Steam age, and we're finally on our way to getting more into a Greggy version. Or we're getting more into the actual GregTech, rather than just the beginner game stuff that was just slow and boring. And to end this episode off, let's open up this Steam bag. It's a pretty nice hammer. Well, that was a pretty good... Ooh, and we got a hobbyist steam engine. Cool. Well, I think that is a good place to end it for today. We were able to get a lot done. I mean, we got through the Steam age for the most part. We got some water tanks, got a new base, and let's get to Gregging. Pretty cool. Well, after this embarrassment of mistakes, that is going to be a wrap for today. I feel pretty confident on where we're leaving off, and ready to continue progressing into the Steam Age next episode. Thank you for staying till the end, and I'll see you in the next one. God bless.